नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामयी यमुनामयी भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Om चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतावतकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं सारजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
I offer my humble obeisance to all the devotees who assembled for this 3 days katha on Gajendra's pastime. Very happy to meet the devotees in Singapore after almost a year. Last year we sat here and discussed something from the Bhagavad Gita, I remember, same setup. This will improve us, right? Same projector. I was asked to speak on Gajendra Moksh. How many of you already know the story of Gajendra? Huh? Anyone who doesn't know? Even he also knows. He also knows. How old are you? How old are you? 5. 5-year-old child also knows Gajendra's story. So I should we discuss this topic again? After 3 days, not on one day. Every day 2 hours, 6 hours of discussion over 3 days on a well-known story. Hundreds and thousands of times this story has been narrated, heard, spoken, discussed, reflected upon, contemplated, analyzed. Again, we are sitting to hear the same story. Does it make sense to you? It should make sense. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit, especially these 2 pastimes of Dhruva and Prahlad Maharaj. He would hear repeatedly same story. If the Lord is taking so much interest in hearing Bhagavatam repeatedly, same episodes of Bhagavatam repeatedly, how much should we be eager to repeatedly hear the same pastimes? The idea is not to know something new. The idea is to revise what we already know and internalize it and apply it. We will know, but knowledge does not mean we have realized it. Jnana and Vijnana There's a difference between them. Being aware of something is different from internalizing, realizing it. For example, if I say, I'm thirsty, I need water, because 8. 100 people sitting here heard it. But who actually heard it? Who goes and gets some water for me? He actually heard it. But hearing everybody did. Information everybody has. 100 people sitting here has, okay, he gets water, he's thirsty. What are you doing about it? Right? Someone who gets up and goes and drinks water at a faster pace, not in a leisure, not leisurely, aram se, not like that. Immediately goes, oh, there's an emergency situation, he's very thirsty. He immediately goes, he starts and then drinks water and he goes. He actually heard it, realized it, he acted upon it. Right? Similarly, several pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam also, you will be aware. But this mere awareness is not sufficient, of course. Even that awareness is also glorious. Right? One who is aware of Krishna's pastimes, one who has knowledge and information about Krishna's pastimes, is also tremendously glorious, undoubtedly. But the next step is to repeatedly hear the same thing, to internalize it, to realize it, to apply it, to absorb it, to assimilate it, and to relish while repeating it. That's what is required. When Dhruva Maharaj did 6 months of tapasya and chanted this mantra, what is that mantra? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Where did he do this tapasya? Where did he chant this mantra?
Madhuban.
Madhuban, in Vrindavan, on the bank of Yamuna, with the instruction of Narada, a great devotee, with the blessings of Suniti Mata, a great Vaishnava, his mother. So, Dhruva Maharaj, after doing these 6 months of tapasya, he got the darshan of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu immediately came on the back of Garuda, descended, and he gave darshan. But Dhruva Maharaj asked, what was the initial desire of Dhruva Maharaj? Why did he even leave the palace and come to the forest to perform tapasya to please Lord Vishnu? What was the reason?
He wanted a kingdom.
He wanted a kingdom
Greater than his
great grandfather Brahma. He wanted a position superior to Brahma. And Dhruva Maharaj also wanted to take revenge on his stepmother who he insulted. He also wanted to, he was envious of his stepmother. With all these material ambitions and very poor consciousness of holding envy, grudge, revenge in his heart, he did his tapasya. He chanted the holy names of the Lord. He did whatever devotional service he had to do in a holy place. But whatever he did with sincerity. He sincerely chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Such sincere practice of the instructions given by his Guru, Narada Muni, brought a transformation in his heart. Although he began with a material ambition, after seeing the Lord, he did not express that material ambition. He did not ask for what he wanted before. The Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him, what did he ask? He did not ask, let my brother die, let my stepmother die, let me occupy my father's throne, let me occupy my great grandfather's throne, or better than that. He did not ask any of this. You know what he asked? Bhaktim boho pravahatam tvayime prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayana yena jasolvana murugyasanam bhavantim neshye bhavatguna katham mritatvanamatta. He said, O Lord, just give me the opportunity to associate with sadhus, your devotees, and hear Krishna Katha in that association. This is his desire. What happened to the previous desire? What happened to his ambition of attaining position better than Brahma? What happened to his revengeful feelings towards his stepmother? Where did his anger disappear? Suniti Mata told him, my dear child, you should not desire harm for anyone, even if they have harmed you. He didn't listen. Narada Muni told, oh my dear boy, you should not take this insult very seriously. You are a 5-year-old child. You should be attached to the games. Go and play. Forget all this insult, dishonor. That's not safe. Don't worry about it. He did not listen. Suniti Mata told him. And Narada Muni told him. He did not listen. But after doing the 6 months of tapasya and chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, automatically he gave up all revengeful feelings and material ambitions. So just by hearing from a great Vaishnava, a good advice is not sufficient. We need to practice it, to actually realize it, internalize it and apply it. So Dharma is completely transformed in 6 months. Bhakti brings about the transformation. Right? So, after the Lord appeared in front of him, Dharma said, my dear Lord, please give me an opportunity to hear Krishna Katha in the association of your devotees forever. And this is the same desire of so many other Vaishnavas also in Bhagavatam. Whether it is Kunti Maharani, or Parikshit Maharaj, or Lord Shiva, Vaishnava Lakashambhu, or many other great devotee. Even after doing so much tapasya and getting the darshan of the Lord also, they are asking for this boon. What we are doing now. Officers are sitting here at 7:25 p.m. in front of Lord Jagannathji and Prabhupada. They are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, right? This is the aspiration of Dhruva Maharaj. After he got some maturity in bhakti. When he was immature, he was aspiring for some broken pieces of glasses. He was aspiring for some position beyond Brahma, this and that. But after he became mature in his understanding of bhakti, he aspired for hearing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. So mature devotees aspire to hear Hare Katha in Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha and Hare Katha. Only two desires. What are same? If it is really Sadhu Sangha, Hare Katha should happen there. Without Hare Katha, Sadhu Sangha cannot become Sadhu Sangha. Two sadhus will not sit together and gossip about current affairs in this world. That's not Sadhu Sangha, by the way. Right? Sadhu Sangha is anyone who wears a tilak and dhoti kurta and Gandhimala around and then sit together. And what are they discussing? The latest brands, the latest movies, the latest current affairs, politics. That's not Sadhu Sangha. But there is Krishna Katha, and there is discussion about Krishna's Naam, Arup, Bhagwan, and Leela. That is Sadhu Sangha. And that kind of Sadhu Sangha is desired by Dhruva Maharaj also. So, we don't have to seek new information. We just have to perpetually keep on hearing Krishna Katha, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. However, this is bliss. This is bliss. Life after life. Just hear Krishna Katha. That's all. This is the ultimate aspiration of purest devotees after attaining the darshan of the Lord also. So, understanding the importance of hearing Bhagavatam and Sadhu Sangha, let's try to discuss this beautiful episode of Gajendra. I'll come to prayers after some time. Because let's discuss the story also. The heretic prayers. What is the context? What's the background of his prayers? Let's see that. In the Bhima Maharaj, he ruled the kingdom for a long time and he retired at the right time and he came to the forest and started worshipping the Lord in seclusion. One day, Agastya Muni came there along with his disciples. But Indra Maharaj was so absorbed in his worship, he could not welcome this Muni, this sage, Brahmana sage. Then he became so angry. Oh, this man, supposed to be a Rajarshi, supposed to be a great king, supposed to be well aware of all etiquettes and manners of guest reception, respecting Vaishnavas, respecting Brahmanas, respecting guests. But he is behaving like a dull-headed elephant. He doesn't have the basic manners to invite a guest also. Let him become an elephant. He cursed. Then Indra Maharaj became an elephant. Actually, he did not do a very big mistake also. He was busy with his worship. But still he was cursed. But more than the fact of being cursed by a sage, we need to focus on the fact that he received a curse with maturity. Generally, our mind thinks about justice. What is the big mistake that this king has been cursed so heavily like this? From the position of being a Rajarshi, worshipping the Lord, he became a dull-headed elephant. Too much. And same thing with Parishit Maharaj also. He did a mistake, definitely. Indra Maharaj, what he did was not a very big mistake, but still it's a mistake. When the Brahmana says comes, he was supposed to go and welcome him, but he could not do it for whatever reason. And he was cursed. And the curse is very heavy compared to the mistake that is done. Offense is small, punishment is big. Same thing with Parishit Maharaj also. He kept a dead snake around the neck of Hare Krishna. He was cursed to die in 7 days. Same thing with Chitraketu Maharaj also. He gave one little feedback to Lord Shiva. Of course, publicly he did. Parvati becomes so upset. When a husband is insulted in public, definitely he should become upset. So Parvati became upset. My dear son, I curse you to become a demon. He said, you are my son. But still she says, I curse you. He became a demon. Offense is small, punishment is big. But more than analyzing the proportionality of this curse versus the mistake, let's focus on the consciousness of all these great souls. Whether it is Parishit Maharaj, or Indra Maharaj, or Chitraketu Maharaj, they received this curse in a very mature manner. When we are mature, we see misery also as mercy of Krishna. But when we lack that maturity, then we blame Krishna. We blame people. We complain. We become cynical. So these three great devotees and many other devotees, Vidura, for giving the good advice, Vidura was banished from Hastinapur to Duryodhana. And Dhritarashtra, Vidura's brother, he did not do anything to stop Duryodhana. He allowed Vidura to get out of the palace for Hastinapur. But he took it as Krishna's mercy, and he somehow managed to find an opportunity in that calamity to intensify his absorption in Krishna. That's what all these devotees did. Coming to the story of Indra Maharaj also, he accepted the curse. He tolerated it. Srila Prabhupada writes in the next chapter purports, 8th canto, 4th chapter purports, beautiful purpose. The second half he writes. He quotes the shloka, popular shloka. Tatenu kampam susamikshamayo bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvava purdhen vidadhan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadaya bhak. Tatenu kampam susamikshama. If you carefully analyze why this calamity occurred in my life. We face so many reversals and so many calamities in life. If you carefully analyze, you will understand that this happened because of my own past misdeeds. Atmakritam vipakam. All the inconveniences and difficulties that I am facing in life are just results of my own past misdeeds. In this current episode, my mistake may seem very small and the punishment is very big. But nothing happens randomly. Maybe we have had 10 other mistakes in the past for which we were not punished, and for the small mistake we are getting away with the punishment. And this is the cumulative effect of all that stuff. All the past mistakes. We will not realize it. You know that popular phrase, the last straw that broke the camel's back. You have heard it? I heard it. You just put a straw on the camel's back and collapses. A donkey, whatever you call it. How can I stop Maharaj's camel? No, this camel has been carrying so much load, heavy load on his back for a long, long time. So finally, he just broke down. For example, 10 people are trying to, say, break a big wall. They're taking this big hammers and just trying to bang it. It's not falling on me. After 3-4 hours of video, they're just trying to break it. And they just sit down there. So one person comes. Okay, let me try. One chain comes. Let me try. He picks up the hammer and then that's it. All collapses. You may think that this kid has done everything. All 10 people have been working for 3-4 hours. So if they had continued for one more minute, it would have fallen down, but it took a break for whatever reason. Meanwhile, he came and did it. Right? So, similarly, although we may experience some reversals or difficulties or calamities in life, apparently for no reason, no significant reason, no notable reason, we should not assume that I have been victimized unnecessarily. Anya evaporations. We should not think that a lot of injustice is happening to us. Nothing happens randomly. Krishna's sanction is there behind everything. But if we become mature and if we remember all the wonderful examples of Srimad Bhagavatam, and if we take it as Krishna's grace, if we accept it as Krishna's sanction or Krishna's decision for my purification, then we can grow in our bhakti. Otherwise, we will continue to complain, fight for justice, and waste more time. That does not, by the way, that does not mean we don't take any steps to protect ourselves. Humility, tolerance, understanding philosophy does not mean we don't take any practical action to counteract a difficulty or come out of a calamity. With all your human efforts, you try to avoid calamity for all practical purposes. But if the situation goes beyond your control, surrender to the situation. Accept it as Krishna's sanction. Right? You tried your best, but it's not beyond your capacity. What could you do? Right? Accept it as Krishna's grace and be Krishna conscious. Don't be problem conscious. Don't be calamity conscious. Be Krishna conscious. Right? Sometimes calamities also bring us closer to Krishna. So Indrajita Maharaj accepted this curse with grace. So that is the flashback, backstory. Now this Indrajita Maharaj became an elephant, Gajendra. He became the king of all elephants, not just an normal elephant, king of all elephants, king of the entire forest. So this Gajendra had so many followers, so many wives, so many children. Whatever a typical conditioned soul human being can aspire for in this life, Gajendra had all of it. He had name, fame, strength, wealth, whatever wealth, animalistic wealth. Whatever you want. He has a position, he is the king of the entire forest. Even smaller animals like jackals or foxes or rabbits or whatever, they are surviving because Gajendra neglected to harm them. He chose. I'll just go ahead in my own way. So that's how they are surviving. And that so many people are living because of the mercy of Gajendra. So many people are surviving because of the grace of Gajendra. And Gajendra has so many wives and children and other elephants, and Gajendra used to live in a place called Trikuta mountain region. Trikuta. You can go through Bhagavatam or the description of Trikuta mountain. I will not elaborately describe it. But there is a Trikuta mountain which has 3 peaks, 3 kuta, 3 peaks, prominent peaks, and in that area there is a great garden called Ritumat garden. In that garden there is a nice lake. So Gajendra is wandering around that mountain region along with his other elephants. As Gajendra was moving with his body weight, he was shaking the entire Trikota mountain region, walking with so much of pride, so much of confidence. As Gajendra was walking, he trampled on some wooden logs and bushes and thickets, creepers, or some trees under his feet, effortlessly. He is carelessly moving around. Nobody is there to stop him. So much wealth, so much strength, so much power, so much influence. Krishna had all of it. A nice family. Those who care for him, those who love him, those who are affectionate towards him, and those who are obedient in front of him. Krishna had access to all of them. However, the material energy is like this. Whichever form we take, whether it is human form, or devata form, or elephant form, or a rat form, or a cat form, or a dog form, or an insect form, or a snake form, or a scorpion form, or the form of a worm in stool also. Material energy makes us become completely absorbed in that identity. I am an elephant. This is the concept of Gajendra. Just like many of us will think, I am a human being. I am a Singapore Vasi. I am an employee of so-and-so company. I am a student of so-and-so school. Or I am a man, I am a woman. Or I am a brahmachari, I am a grihastha. We have so many identities, but somehow the Lord's energy makes us completely absorbed in that identity. Absorption in a temporary material identity or designation is a product of Maya. What are we saying? Should we not act according to our identities or designations or positions or roles or responsibilities? I am not saying that. Don't misquote me anyway. That's not my point. If you are a brahmachari, do the need to according to brahmachari ashram protocols. If you are a grihastha, do the need to in protecting your family. If you are a sannyasi, do the need to whatever is your prescribed services. If you are an employee in a company, please serve the company, get the salary. If you are a student in school, please study. This is not what we are trying to say. We are not intruding into anyone's responsibilities and duties. But what we need to remind ourselves is, this duty that I am doing, this role that I am playing, is a temporary role. It's not a permanent role. I have a permanent identity beyond all these external, temporary, superficial, material identities. I have a permanent identity as a servant of Krishna. We should be aware of it. We should do something about it. But material energy is so strict that it makes us completely absorbed, fully absorbed in that identity. Now, Indradyumna Maharaj doesn't remember that he was Indradyumna Maharaj at one point. He was worshipped of Lord Krishna at one point. He was a Rajarshi at one point. He doesn't know anything. He became completely absorbed in his identity as an elephant, as a king of all elephants, as Gajendra. He became completely absorbed in it. This is Mala. But the Lord's energy works in many inconceivable ways. What are some of the inconceivable ways? One is to make us get so absorbed in a specific identity. Another is to shake that identity. Right. Sometimes we face some reversal, some difficulty, some problem that shakes our identity. For example, during COVID time, other times also, many people lost their jobs. Right? Some people lost their jobs. So far, they have been identifying themselves as employees of so-and-so company. But suddenly they lost their jobs. Very painful situation. We need to empathize with those devotees, sympathize with them, try to help them, support them in some way. But another way of looking at it in a philosophical angle is, yes, any identity in this world
whatever may be the amount of respect that identity is bringing us, whatever may be the amount of fame or name or wealth or prestige or following that the identity is bringing us, that is ultimately a temporary identity. You may be receiving so much of, say, wealth from that job, so much of salary from that job, suddenly it's gone. Now, where is the source of my income? I need to find. Some devotees, they're very experienced, serious, but somehow the company said, okay, we want to cut down on the number of employees, and let's eliminate these employees. Then they lost the job. Now they are not finding a new job despite having so much of experience in that field. Why? Because it's more experience, they have to pay more. Let's find a pressure. He will use AI and he will produce almost similar results. So let's find a pressure. And we can pay less also. That is a thing. So we are not here to judge anyone. But the point is, these are inevitable circumstances. Now there are some devotees also who lost a job and found a better job. As soon as they sense that, oh, I am going to lose this, right? Maybe they are considering to remove a few people. So let me find something. Smartly, there are some devotees, you know what they did? So 3-4 months before, as soon as they sensed it, they started applying to 3 companies. By the time they are removed, they have another job ready. Something like that also. But the main message here is, whatever may be the potency or greatness of an identity in this world, ultimately it is temporary. So Gajendra has been identifying himself as an elephant for a long time. You may not be able to understand it theoretically. When we actually become an elephant, when we actually have so many family members and children and followers, and we become, say, the king of the entire jungle, it's very difficult to give up that identity. So the Lord's energy arranges a situation where that identity is shaken. We become very shaken in that identity. So Gajendra, as he moved around in this Trikuta mountain region, he became a little tired and he entered a lake. He was taking baths. He was drinking some water. And he was also sucking water through his trunk and splashing that water on all his children and wives and enjoying like that. Although it's a difficult job, but still he's doing it with so much of eagerness and enthusiasm because there's an attachment to his friends and family. He was doing that. Suddenly, as he was enjoying and frolicking in the association of all his friends and family members, suddenly an angry crocodile came and caught Gajendra's leg. Then Gajendra tried to release himself. He tried so hard to release himself. Gajendra, elephant, was a land animal, but crocodile was a water animal. In the water, this crocodile was trying to pull the leg of Gajendra, so that increased his strength because it's in his hometown or whatever, his own place, so-called own place. But Gajendra, being a foreigner to that place, could not release himself. So Gajendra thought, how long this crocodile will catch me? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Actually 1 hour passed. Crocodile was not leaving on me. 1 full day passed, 7 hours. Crocodile was not leaving on me. And all the elephants who were standing on the shore, they could not help Gajendra. They were only crying, empathetic and sympathetic and kind, but they could not help him. Sometimes people in this world are very kind-hearted. They are very empathetic and sympathetic towards all of us. But they can't do anything practically to help us. Okay. Some people come to us with some problem, they are concerned about it, we are able to understand their problem, but practically we can't do anything because there are hundreds and thousands of constraints. We need to accept that human liberation of humility. You should not assume that we can solve anybody's problem. But if you can, please do it. If you can't, understand, help. Be humble. So, Gajendra thought that this crocodile will leave him sometime. But one day passed, 1 week passed, 1 month passed, 1 year passed, 1 decade passed, 1 century passed, 10 centuries passed. Still this crocodile was not leaving him. Can you just imagine? Sometimes you may think that we often quote this sloka, right? Matra sparshasthu kaunteya sitoshta sukha dukkha agama apayinu anitya tamsu dukshasthu bharata. Problems, they come and go. Just like winter and summer seasons. Winter comes, it will not stay permanently, it will go. Summer comes, it will not stay permanently, it will go. We may pacify ourselves by quoting this sloka. All problems in this world are transient, they are temporary. They don't have a permanent effect on the eternal soul. So, just wait. This too shall pass. Which is correct. Definitely correct. But sometimes, under the umbrella of this temporariness, some problems are permanent. Ultimately, the world itself is temporary. Life is temporary. But within that temporary life, a problem is permanent. Means, from the beginning of life till the end of life, that problem exists. In that sense, it's permanent only. Permanent within the temporary time frame. You go to a doctor with some cough or headache or fever. Doesn't take you some medicine or injection. In 2 days you are normal. In 3-4 days you are perfectly alright. But sometimes doctor will do a test. You have to live with this problem for the rest of your life. You have to take this tablet forever. Every single day you have to take this tablet. Without this you cannot survive. My father is a heart patient. 17 years back, I think, when I just joined Darshan, 16 years back, he got a heart surgery. Since then till now, every day he has to take a tablet. Sometimes he misses, then some problem, but again, he will just go and then take it. So every day you have to do this. So some problems are, they don't leave us for a long time. Only death makes us leave a problem. Right? Gajendra thought that this crocodile will leave me sometime. The crocodile is not leaving me. 1,000 years passed, still crocodile is not leaving. Can you just imagine how permanent the problem is? How long one can suffer because of the problem? Then finally, Gajendra understood. None of these elephants who are standing on the shore, crying for me with so much sympathy and empathy, are able to protect me or help me. And of course, this fight between Gajendra and the crocodile that's being watched by the devatas in the upper planets, sitting in balconies of the clouds from their lotus. Nobody came forward to protect Gajendra. They had the ability to protect him. All these Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all these big devatas, they had their weapons. For them, killing a crocodile is not a big deal. But none of them had the mercy, had the compassion, had the empathy or sympathy to come and help Gajendra except to watch the match. Have you seen somebody? If somebody has some problem there, they're struggling with something. Somebody will take out their phones and then take a video. But they don't come forward to help. Right? It happens sometimes. They have to capture the moment. They have to upload it, sensational reel on the Instagram or some social media platform to get more and more views and it becomes viral. Within 1 hour, I got 1 million views. Let me catch all these kinds of sensational moments around with the camera. The hand will pain, but still will not pain. The hand sometimes pains a lot because they are in this posture for a long time. Even if no message comes, they are in this posture. Sometimes messages come, every 5 minutes something comes, they are like this. But nothing comes to me, they are like this. They're talking, but it's like this. Poster is like this. And it's, see, this may be like 100 grams, 200 grams, not more than that. But still, that little weight also is very heavy on the hand because they're holding for long time. So some problems come on their own, some problems we invite. We invite voluntarily. So, Gajendra thought that this crocodile will leave him, crocodile did not leave him. And these people, all the devatas who had the ability to protect Gajendra, they are not coming forward to protect only. Because although they had the ability, they did not have the intention to protect Gajendra. Although they had the capacity to save him, they don't have the compassion to save him. And his elephant friends, they had the compassion on Gajendra, but they did not have the capacity. In this world, there are some people who have the ability to help us, but no intention to help us. Some people have the intention to help us, but they have no ability. Some people have compassion, but no capacity. Some people have capacity, but no compassion. And some people have both, but they are not aware of our situation. Only the Lord has all three qualities. He has the ability, He has the intention, He has the awareness. We'll discuss it. We'll come to that prayer. 8.3.17. Madhya prapanna pashupacha vimokshanaaya muktaya bhuri karunaya napolayaya swamshena sarvatanu brahmanasi pratita pratyakdrishya bhagavate brihate namaste. This is the place, very soon. And we'll discuss this prayer when we come there. Maybe today we will not reach there, maybe tomorrow we may reach, hopefully. I will only begin, I will not end. So, Gajendra thought that I tried my best to protect myself. I could not. I failed. I was expecting some help from others, but I did not receive. They failed to help me. But there must be somebody in this entire creation, in this entire universe, who must be having the ability and the intention to protect me. Whoever that may be, whatever may be his name, whatever may be his form, to whomsoever it may concern, let me offer a letter. Right? Let me offer this heartfelt letter or a prayer, let him come and save me. This is the consciousness of Gajendra. Prabhupada writes in the purport, 8th canto, 2nd chapter, last purpose. Only a purified soul, only a pious soul, only a soul who had some background of doing some little bhakti in the past will be inspired to offer a prayer like this. Many people undergo so many calamities, so many difficulties. But how many of them have the inclination to take shelter of the Lord? To surrender to a higher power? Not many. And some people, even if they kind of have an understanding that there is some Lord, some God who exists, they blame that God. Why am I having some problem? That means God is not there. They do some analysis. In mathematics there are some theorems, right? You just do some equation and then hence prove. Okay? They also come up with this theories, hence prove. I have this difficulty. He has that difficulty. And they had this calamity. There is some accident that happened there. There is some bomb explosion happened there. There is some train accident there. Some people drowned in the ocean. So, conclusion of all of this is God doesn't exist. Hence proof. God doesn't exist. That's the conclusion. Katabjyoti, she lost her little child. She blamed Krishna. Right? In this way, many people come to different conclusions. When there is calamity, instead of surrendering to the Lord, they either blame the Lord or claim that God doesn't exist. But how many people actually take shelter of the Lord? That's the really rare. Gajendra took shelter of the Lord. But when? After 1,000 years. But it's worth it. Whether you take shelter now, or tomorrow, or after 10 days, or after 20 days, or after 1,000 years, ultimately you have to come to this shelter only. When you postpone their surrender, I will do it later. Do it later. But you have to do this one. There is no other way. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Whether we understand the import of this line today or tomorrow or 10,000 years or 10,000 lifetimes, ultimately we have to come to this point only. When you decide. Krishna doesn't interfere with your minute independence. When we were discussing. We have some independence. Krishna doesn't want forced surrender. Krishna doesn't want someone to take his shelter out of force, out of obligation. Krishna wants voluntary surrender. Forced service is not palatable to anybody, or not just to Krishna. If somebody is forced to serve you, forced to assist you in some way, you will feel uncomfortable to receive their service. Somebody offers you laddu out of love, you accept it. But if they offer that laddu out of force, somebody told them to offer. You don't feel like we reject it. Similarly, Krishna also doesn't want forced love or forced surrender. Therefore, he may inspire us, he doesn't impose on us. And that's what we need to do with others also, as much as possible. Of course, we need to give a loving push, but not an aggressive force. So, Gajendra voluntarily surrendered to Krishna now, out of this calamity. Still, it's good. That might not be the best, but it is still okay. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukritim arjuna arto jignasarartharthi gnani cha bharatarshabha. 4 types of people surrender to me, take my shelter. Who are they? Artha, those are distressed. Jignasu, those are curious. Artharthi, those who want money, wealth, position. Gnani, wise people, intelligent people. Out of these 4 categories, Gajendra belongs to the first category now. Out of distress, Gajendra came to take shelter of the Lord so that he may be relieved from the distress. But this mode will not continue for long. So Gajendra took shelter of the Lord. He contemplated and he started offering prayers. Prabhupada. Gajendra remembered some prayer that he had learned in his past life. In his last life, he learned some prayer, somehow he remembered it after 1,000 years. Therefore, when we try to remember some prayer, memorize some prayer, it could be Brahma Samhita or some Bhagavatam Shloka, some prayers of Gajendra's prayers or Dhruva's prayers or Kunti Maharani's prayers, some prayer you just remember. Even if you don't understand the meaning also, still you just recite that prayer. Consciously or unconsciously. Mechanically or with some other statement. Somehow or other, if you remember a prayer. You memorize a prayer, you learn a prayer. That will rescue us not only in this life, even in the future life. Even after 1,000 years or 1,000 lifetimes also, who knows? Somewhere in the layers of our memory that prayer is hiding, suddenly it just pops up. That idea. Just like kids may learn so many mathematics formulas with the brain. I know my mathematics teacher, when I was in 8th grade, he showed us some book, small book. He said, this is my formula book. Since my 8th standard, I have been writing all the mathematics formulas in this book. He didn't have certificate at that time. List all the formulas, we made a big list. Nothing goes inside. But he wrote everything with hand and showed us. This I have been maintaining this since several years, almost a decade. So he was in 20s in those days. We were in our teens, 8th grade. He just entered teens. Handwritten formulas. A plus B whole square equal to A square plus B square plus 3AB. You saw that. From there to advanced algebra, derivatives and calculus, all the formulas are there. And I was also inspired, but let me also write. I could not maintain it. Somehow, writing Bhagavatam shlokas and Gita shlokas, I could take it more seriously than mathematics formulas. It was more exciting to me. That could not catch my interest somehow. Anyways, so Gajendra memorized that prayer, remembered that prayer, and offered that prayer. What is that prayer? Let's discuss. After giving almost 1 hour of introduction and coming to the prayers. I hope I didn't waste your time. Right? That's one. It's listen to you. Let's begin the prayers. So in 3 days, all of you have to memorize all these prayers. Okay? Challenge. Right? Task, homework. Okay, may not be all 28 or so prayers. At least 6 prayers. Fine? Daily 2. Doable?
Yes.
Possible?
Yes, please.
How many of you will commit to this? 6 prayers in 3 days. What is the name? Day after tomorrow I'll ask you. I ask many kids, I can't ask older people. I'll ask Smriti there. I'll ask Gora here. And other kids. Okay. Anyways, let's recite these prayers. Shri Gajendra Uvacha.
Shri Gajendra Uvacha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Yata Etachidatmakam.
Yata Etachidatmakam.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Yata Etachidatmakam.
Yata Etachidatmakam.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Om Namo Bhagavate. He is offering obeisances to the Lord. Tasmai Yata Etat Chidatmakam. You keep that shloka only. It is very confusing. Let's go line by line. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai means he is offering obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. Clear? Yata Etat Chidatmakam means by His mercy, by His grace, by His power. Etat means this universe. Chidatmakam is animate, is functioning. Right? So He makes this universe function by His mercy, by His grace, by His power. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord glances on Prakriti and Prakriti starts becoming active. Yata Etat Chidatmakam means the universe and all the bodies within the universe are functioning, are active, are working because of His power. Right? Here. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yata Etat Chidatmakam. Purushaya is a supreme person. Don't think that he is an impersonal power only. He is Purusha. He is a person who has a form, who has attributes, who has qualities, who has desires, who has anger, who has affection. He has all kinds of emotions, feelings, desires. He is a person, Purushaya. But this Purusha is not a normal Purusha like in this world. Adi Bijaya. Adi means the origin. Bija means the seed. Both are more or less same. The seed is the origin of the tree. From the seed, entire tree grows. Similarly, from the Lord, entire universe manifests. Not entire universe, millions of universe manifest. 100 He is a transcendental controller, supreme boss. Abhidhimahi, let me offer my obeisances, let me meditate upon him. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai.
Yata Etat Chidatmakam.
Yata Etat Chidatmakam.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Purushaya Dibijaya.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Pareshaya Vidhimahi.
Clear? Let's go to the second prayer. Third shloka. Yasmin idam yataschedam.
Yasmin idam yataschedam.
Yene Yenedam yaidam swayam.
Yenedam yaidam swayam.
Yosmat parasmat para.
Yosmat parasmat paras.
Samprapadye swayam bhuvam.
Tam prapadye swayam bhuvam.
Yasmin idam yatasyedam. In the previous shloka, Gajendra said that he is the supreme origin of everything. He is the beginning of everything. Entire universe manifested from him. As the Lord himself said, Aham sarvasya prabhavo makkah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samannitah. Everything emanated from the Lord. And he also says, Mattah parataram natyat
Kinchidasti
dhananjaya mahi sarvavidam protam
Sutre maniganayana.
It's like there are so many flowers here. These flowers are nicely strung with this string, right? Without this little string, these flowers cannot stay together like this. They should not be visible. Now you can see the string. But without the string, the flowers cannot stay together like this. The string is the Lord, and these flowers are the planets in this world, different universes, and different mountains and rivers and whatever you see in this world, they are like these flowers, but they stay together and they function in a certain way only because of the presence of the invisible power behind, that is Krishna. Right? So, he is the supreme origin of everything and supreme maintainer of everything else. Now in the second shloka, he says that he is the supreme energy. He says, Yasmin idam yatasyedam. Yasmin idam means in him, in the Lord, this universe exists. Yatasyedam means from him the universe comes into existence. Means the universe existed within him and it came out of him. If you see in the beginning of creation, Mahavishnu, also called Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, he exhaled, he glanced on Prakriti. At that time, entire Prakriti material energy is there within his body. And because of his breathing or exhaling and glances, the Prakriti became active and came out in the form of multiple hundreds and thousands of universes. So, Yasmin idam yatasyedam means universe existed within him and universe came out of him. Just like the seed is there. Tree existed within the seed at one point, and at one point the tree came out of the seed. Similarly, the Lord, the universe existed within the Lord and it came out of the Lord. So, that means Yasminidam Yatasyedam. Yenedam Yedam Swayam. By him it is created. Yenedam means he is the one who created it. So, after the universe emanated, the Lord only entered into the universe as, what is the form? Second form? Garbhodakasaya. And he created all the details in the universe through Brahma and other Prajapatis and Manus. So he manifested the universal lotus. Within the universal lotus there are 14 planetary systems. Clear? So it is the Lord who created everything. Then, Jaidam Swayam. Swayam is personally, he is the universe. The universe existed inside him, came out of him, created by him, and universe is the Lord himself. Non-different from him. So energy and energetic are same. In that sense, not different. Of course, material universe is different from the Lord, but in one sense, same as the Lord also. It is so much within his system, he brought it out. Then, Yosmat Parasmat Chaparaha Tam Prapadye Salam Bhavam. Yet he is different from this cause and effect. He is different from the universe. The universe first manifested as a small seed, Mahatattva, Pradhana, then it became Mahatattva, then eventually the universe manifested. So that Mahatattva came from him, the universe also came from him. Mahatattva is the cause, universe is the effect. But the Lord is beyond the cause and effect. Just because the universe came out of the Lord, does it mean that something is reduced in the Lord? For example, I have 5 fingers. If somebody cuts his finger, 1 finger came out of the body. How many I will have? 4 fingers only. Right? Thousands of universes may come from the Lord, but the Lord remains the same as it is. He is beyond this creation. is transcendental to this all these causes and effects. Then tam prapadye swayam bhavam. I offer my obeisances unto that Lord who is swayam bhavam, self-sufficient. He doesn't depend on anything. Acharya gives a simple example to understand this phrase. The Lord is everything. We discussed in this shloka. The Lord is everything. The Lord is the beginning of the universe, origin of the universe. He is the creator of the universe. He himself is the universe. Right? So now compare the Lord with earth. Earth is everything. Now, a potter makes a clay pot, isn't it? Now, after making the clay pot, where does he keep? On the earth only. The place where the pot exists is earth. Who made the pot? Potter. Potter's body is made of earth. Then, how did he make the pot? On a potter's wheel. The potter's wheel also is manifestation of earth. And what is the pot made of? Clay. The result is earth. So whether it is potter's body or potter's wheel or clay itself or the place where the pot stays, everything is earth only. Isn't it? Earth is the main element, right? And from earth, clay came out. And with that clay, the potter, whose body is also made of earth, made a pot using a potter still which is also earth. Potter's wheel is earth. Potter is earth. Pot is earth. And the place where the pot is sitting, that is also earth. Everything is earth. It's not Maya, everything is same. But we are highlighting the oneness aspect. Let me explain this a bit. You know this Gajendra Moksh you are saying. If there is an energetic person, and from this energetic person some energy comes out. Without this energetic person, energy doesn't exist. Right? And without energy, energetic person cannot be called as an energetic person. Right? In that sense, energy and energetic person are one and the same. They're together. Without sunshine, sun cannot be called sun. Without sun, there is no existence for the sunshine. Sun is an energetic person, sunshine is energy. Can energy and this energetic person stay separately? They're together. A lamp and the light of the lamp, or the illumination of the lamp, they have to stay together, they cannot separate them. Right? So in that sense there is oneness. But at the same time, lamp may be one corner, undergoing whatever it has to undergo, but the light is there everywhere. You can experience the light without seeing the lamp also, without seeing the source of the light also. In that sense, energy stays separately from energy. Probably this is a simple example to understand it. Say somebody recorded the voice of Prabhupada as he was giving a lecture. And that voice of Prabhupada is his energy. Isn't it? Now, all the Prabhupada that gave that lecture now several decades back, now we are hearing recording. And we are discussing what you have heard in the lecture. You said Prabhupada said it. Prabhupada said it. When did we Prabhupada? Prabhupada passed away long back. But when we are hearing the recording of Prabhupada, when we are reading some book by Prabhupada, it's Prabhupada talking to us. Somebody questions what did Prabhupada speak to you? Prabhupada spoke to his lectures, to his energy. So his lecture, the recording of the lecture is as good as Prabhupada speaking, his energy, non-difference. But at the same time, you cannot take the tape recorder equal to Prabhupada. You cannot keep a tape recorder on the altar and then start worshiping. You have something deity of Prabhupada. Right? So the energy in the form of this voice or audio recording is non-different from the speaker, because whatever you are hearing from the tape recorder, you consider it as a person's speech. It is energy non-different from him. Propose words. But at the same time, there is a difference between this recording and the person. Right? So this is Achitya Bheda Bheda. There is a difference between the energy and energetic. At the same time, there is not difference also. Bheda means difference. In the scriptures, Some statements are called Bheda Vakyas. They emphasize the non-difference between the Lord and His energies. They emphasize the difference between the Lord and His energies. They are called Bheda Vakyas. And some statements are Abheda Vakyas. They emphasize the non-difference between the Lord and His energies. Bheda and Abheda. If we take only Bheda Vakyas seriously and ignore Abheda Vakyas, we become Dvaita Vakyas. If we take Abheda Vakyas very seriously and consider Bheda Vakyas figuratively, we become Advaita Vakyas. But if we take both of them as valid statements, then it is Achintya Bheda Bheda. Is it clear? Getting too technical? Some statements in the scriptures emphasize the difference between the Lord and this universe, or Lord and us. We are all His energies. So they emphasize the difference between the Lord and His energies. They are called Bheda Vakyas. See? What is Bheda Vakya? Can someone tell me? Those scriptural statements that emphasize the difference between the Lord and His energies are called Bheda Vakyas. And our Bheda Vakyas are those statements that emphasize the non-difference between the Lord and His energies. If somebody gives more importance to Bheda Vakyas and ignores Abheda Vakyas, they become Dvaita Vakyas. If somebody considers all the Abheda Vakyas are correct and Bheda Vakyas are just figurative, then they become Advaita Vakyas. But we are neither. We accept both are valid statements. Reconcile both. How can we reconcile both? One says they are different, one says they are not different. How can we both be reconciled? Achintya. Inconceivable. So the Lord and we are inconceivably different and not different from each other. That's what is indicated in this prayer. Okay, next, shall we go? Simple, eggs. There's a pot, clay pot. What is this clay pot? Is it different from the eggs? Definitely it's different in one sense. You cannot directly pour water. You can't pour water in the egg directly to drink. You need an earthen pot, clay pot to drink it. There's a difference. At the same time, this earthen pot completely made from the earth only. In that sense, it's not different. There's a difference, there's not difference. There's a single difference. Clear? Third sloka. Let's recite the third sloka. Yasmatmanidam vijamayayapitam
यस्मान्मनीतं निजमाययार्पितं
क्वचित् विभातं क्वचिदत्तिरोहितं
क्वचित् विभातं क्वचिदत्तिरोहितम्
अविद्धवृत्साक्षुभयं तदीक्षते
अविद्यते
स आत्ममूलो वतु मां परात्परः.
स आत्ममूलो वतु मां परात्परः.
It's getting technical, right? Gajendra offered this prayer song. So initially 3-4 prayers are little technical and philosophical prayers, tattva related prayers, and after some time he will become more personal. Then you can connect it with it better. But some understanding of tattva is important. If it is like overhead transmission for you, last 2 prayers, don't worry. More prayers are coming, they go into the head and into the heart also, not over the head. How many of you found the last 2 prayers difficult to understand? You understood? How many of you found it difficult? Just raise your hands. Be honest. We are not clear. Only 3-4. Others understood? You understood too? Huh? Yes, Gaura, you understood? Can you please explain? If the child explains, then I understand the entire rest of the explanation. Understood. Yes. What did you understand on the first prayer? Just say in your own language in our Christian. What is the essence of the first prayer of Gajendra? Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yate Eta Chidatmakam. You don't want to just have some katha with audience not understanding anything. Let's revise, repeat. We are not in a hurry, yes? If not, can anyone explain the essence of the first prayer? The Lord is the origin of everything. This much you understand. The essence of the first sloka is the Lord is the supreme origin. Clear? Okay. Second, essence of second sloka.
He created everything and He is everything.
He is everything. He is the supreme energy. Clear? He is the supreme origin. First shloka. Second shloka, he is the supreme energy. Now third shloka, he is the supreme energetic. Supreme possessor of the energy. Let's see how it is. Yahasvatmanidam vijamayayapitam Kvachit vibhatam kvachatatirohitam Avidhadrik sakshubhayam tadikshate Sa atmamulo vatumam paratparaha. So earlier we saw how the Lord is the energy itself. Means he is non-different from the universe. But now in this shloka, Gajendra says, Yaha Swatmanidam Nija Mayaya Arpitam. Nija Maya means his own energy is manifested in the universe. His own energy means he is energetic, he is a possessor of the energy. In short, understand, the Lord is all pervading in the universe with his energy. The Lord created this universe by his energy. Nija Maya, his own energy. Kvachit vibhatam kvachatatarohitam means sometimes he manifests the universe, sometimes tirohitam, he withdraws the universe. When he exhales, millions of universes come out. When he inhales, all the universes go in. So there are multiple stages. Purakareshika kumbhaka, right? You exhale and hold the breath. Then you inhale. Then hold the breath. Then you exhale. That's what you do. Understand? The Lord also, Mahavishnu also, he exhales and holds the breath. How long he holds the breath? Just 100 years of Brahma. You want it in your calculation? 3 trillion 40 billion years. That's his holding period. How long can you hold your breath? 5 seconds? 10 seconds? 2 seconds? The Lord holds one full duration of the universe, time period of the universe, 100 years of Brahma, which is like 311 trillion 40 billion years. That is his holding period. Then he inhales. Then he holds again. Then everything goes into sleep mode, hibernate mode. Then again he exhales. That is what is mentioned here. Kvachit vibhatam, kvachit tirohitam. Sometimes he manifests the universe by exhaling, sometimes he withdraws the universe by inhaling. Clear? Bhutta pradiyate. Universe doesn't have continuity. The universe sometimes is manifesting, sometimes is not manifesting. Right? Of course, because he is breathing constantly, in that sense, the universe is concentrated. Next. Avidhadsakshabhayam tadikshate. When he manifested the universe, he didn't keep quiet. He is holding breath. That does not mean he doesn't do anything. He has so many expansions. He expands himself as Garbhodakasaya Vishnu within the breathing period, and he manifests all the planetary systems in the universe. And then he also becomes Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. And he becomes Paramatma in the hearts of every living entity, and he observes everything. Witness. He says, Avidhadrat Sakshi Ubhayam Tadikshate. Sakshi means is the witness. Whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we speak, everything is recorded by him. You cannot say, my phone has less memory, I cannot record a video now. His phone has unlimited memory. His brain has unlimited memory. He can hold trillions of TBs of data of every single soul from time immemorial for the rest of eternity, and data never crashes. Right? He never loses any data. He remembers everything. 10 billion lifetimes back, what we have done on so and so date, so and so time, he remembers. Right? So, Sakshi, the keyword here is Sakshi. He is the witness of all our activities. Now, this should give us some encouragement. Sometimes we do some good things. Nobody acknowledges our good deeds. Have you experienced like that? So much hard work you did. Nobody is even thanking you. Nobody is even noticing it. Sometimes kids read so much. But parents say, they are not reading anything. That happens sometimes. Parents push you sometimes. So although we do so many good things, people may not notice. But Krishna is always noticing us. He is completely aware of all our good deeds. And He will reciprocate. He will reward us for whatever good we have done. So we should feel encouraged. Because He is Sakshi, Super, He knows everything. All our moods and deeds He knows. But this being a Super Soul or Sakshi should also give us a caution note. Sometimes we do some mistakes, bad deeds, nobody notices. You will be very happy. I successfully hid all my nonsensical activities from the eyes of these people. We feel very successful, right? But the Lord is noticing. Just as He rewards us for our good deeds, He punishes for our bad deeds also. We may escape from the eyes of this world, and people in this world may ignore us. Lord doesn't ignore us, and we can't escape from the Lord. He is the Son. Sa-atma-mulo tumam-parat-paraham. He is Atma-mulo. So He is the original cause of everything. All the Atmas also manifested from Him. And Parat-paraha. What is Parat? Anyone knows? Supreme. Any more? Transcendental. What is the meaning of the word transcendental? You keep using it so much. Sometimes, if somebody is spaced out, you call him transcendental. That is not the meaning of transcendental. So this story is very transcendental. What happened? He forgot what I told him. Transcendental does not mean only spiritual, spaced out, absent-minded, lazy, confused, bewildered. Such people will call that. Does it happen in Singapore? In India, people call like that each other. It's very transcendental. What happened? It's very spaced out, very forgetful. But real meaning of transcendental means one who is beyond these material calculations. One who is beyond the material activities. Transcendental means completely spiritual. He is unaffected by the birth, death, old age, disease of this material world. He is unaffected by the creation and destruction of this material world. He knows he is coming out and going in, and he is breathing in his yoga nidra, happily enjoying, relishing his yoga nidra. He is totally oblivious to anything material. Such a person is called transcendental. Okay. So, Para means transcendental. But Gajendra did not describe the Lord as Para. What was the last word meaning?
Parat.
Parat Para. Parat Para, two Paras. Paras where? Right? What does it mean? Transcendental to transcendental. How do we understand this? Why do we call the Lord Parat Para? Why is Gajendra calling the Lord Parat Para? Tell me.
The most supreme.
Anyone? Most supreme. Okay. What does it mean? Anyone else?
They call the one God. Like Brahmaji said, Dharma Karanam Karanam.
That's fine. Does it mean Parat Para? Karana Karana, not Parat Para. Para means transcendental. Parat Para means transcendental to transcendental. Beyond transcendental. Better than transcendental. Superior to transcendental. What does it mean? If you saw this, I can tell you this. I think I have to one more shot. Yes, anyone else?
Is it because Atma is considered to be Parameshwar is not Atma?
Is beyond Atma. Very Paramatma, Atma and Paramatma. It's a good perspective. But by the way, the first para also refers to the Lord, second para also refers to the Lord. In your explanation, you made first para as us, as Atmas, and second para is the Lord. But here, first and second, both paras are the Lord, Parat Para. Yes. Even if it's wrong, no problem. Nobody will penalize you. Prasadam is there. Even if you are wrong answer to this Parat Para. Yes, any explanations? Yes, Guru.
So just like in the Krishna book, we have a story where Lord Krishna visits
Mahavishnu.
So Vishnu says that I wanted your darshan. So
Hmm.
in that way, maybe
Vishnu is Para and Krishna is Parat Para. Okay, good explanation. Should we take one more, one last? I'll tell you. Read. Yes.
thief, okay, like in the Vrindavan, okay, he saw like all the Krishna and all. Then he see, okay, Krishna is look like Lord Krishna, okay, look like a normal boy, okay. Then he steal all the children and all, okay. After that, everyone, okay, is become Krishna, okay, 400 forms, okay. So that's what we call it Paratpara, because that body also Krishna, soul also Krishna, that is Paratpara.
Okay, good. I think this word Paratpara also comes in the prayers of Prachetas. Once I was explaining those prayers in Chennai. There also, so many devotees were there. And I asked them, what is Paratpara? One child answered the question. And 10th grade kid answered the question. The answer is, Para is transcendental. Brahman is transcendental. Brahman, you know, the Lord has three faces, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Brahman is his effulgence, which is transcendental. Paramatma is his spatial expansion in the hearts of all living entities, that is also transcendental. Bhagavan is the supreme personality from whom Paramatma and Brahman manifested, he is also transcendental. So when you say Paratpara, that Lord who is beyond the transcendental Brahman is Bhagavan. Para refers to Brahman, Paratpara refers to Bhagavan. Clear? Bhagavan is superior to Brahman also. He is superior to Paratma also. You can add one more para if you want. Or you take first para as Paramatma or Brahman. But second para is Bhagavan, who is beyond Paramatma and Bhagavan. Clear? This was what I was saying. I am not saying this. So let's go to the next sloka. So in the first sloka we have seen the Supreme Lord as a supreme origin. Second, supreme energy. Third, supreme energetic person from whom the energy manifested. Now, fifth sloka. After fifth, things will become a little more conceivable. We find too much philosophy, and later some simple truths will come. Fifth. Kalena panchapamideshu krishnasho lokeshu paleshu cha sarvahetushu tamastadasi gahanam gabhiram yastasya pare bhivirajate vibhu Kalena panchatma videshu krishnasu. Kalena means in due course of time. Panchatvam ideshu krishnasu. When everything in the universe is annihilated, destroyed, the universe is withdrawn. We spoke about creation so far. Now we speak about destruction. Lokeshu paleshu sarvahetushu. Lokeshu means all the planets in the universe. Paleshu means the rulers of the universe. The universe means locus means planets, planetary systems. So the planets and their rulers. Lokeshu paleshu sarvahetushu, all causes in this universe. All of them are withdrawn at the time of destruction. Tamastadasi gahanam gabhiram. At that time there is a dense darkness. Gahanam gabhiram tamas. Tamas means darkness, which is gahanam, very thick, very condensed. Gabhiram, very intense darkness is manifested at the time of universal destruction. But yastasya pare abhivirajate vibhu. The Lord exists beyond this darkness of the universe. When the entire universe is destroyed, there is only dense darkness, but the Lord continues to stay beyond the dark situation also. Basically, Mahavishnu is not annihilated when the universes are annihilated. Or Garbhodakasaya Vishnu is not annihilated when all the universes within the universe are annihilated. I hope we have some basic understanding of second canto of Bhagavatam. Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, Shudakasaya Vishnu. This little bit of background is required to understand these prayers. These are 8 kind of prayers. In the second kind of, we already finished it. Then, next sloka, 6th sloka. So far, we have seen 4 things, 4 prayers. First, the Lord is the supreme origin of everything. Then, He is the supreme energy, supreme energetic, and transcendent into the darkness of this universal description. It's very transcendental. Supreme energy, supreme energetic, supreme horizon, and transcendental. Okay? Now, it is so transcendental, it's very difficult to conceive, understand him. That is described in the next sloka. This side. Nayasya deva rishaya padam vidur.
Nayasya deva rishaya padam vidur.
Jantu punah korhati gantu miritum.
Jantu punah korhati gantu miritum.
Yatha natasya kritibhir vicheshtato.
Yatha natasya kritibhir vicheshtato.
Duratyayanukramanah samavatu.
Duratyayanukramanah samavatu.
Nayasya deva rishaya padam vidur. Vidur means to understand, to know. Nayasya deva rishaya. Even devatas cannot understand him. Even rishis cannot understand. He is so inconceivable. If you feel that last 2-3 shlokas you did not understand, please understand that even devatas cannot understand. You can feel good. You can feel comfortable. I will understand this. Devatas also can't understand. Rishis also cannot understand. Nayasya deva rishaya padam vidur. By the way, I also didn't understand all this. Whatever I understood, I spoke. But there is much more beyond what I understood. Whatever Prabhupada has revealed, I just studied in multiple times, whatever little bit I understand, I spoke. So, Nayasya deva rishaya padam vidur. Where in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna said that even devatas and rishis cannot understand me?
Name vidu suraganaha.
Name vidu. Can someone recite except the senior devotees? Can someone recite Name vidu suraganaha? Anyone? Okay, only one of the devotees know this shloka. So in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name viduh suraganaha prabhavam namaharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Name viduh suraganaha, even suras, devatas cannot understand me. Prabhavam namaharshayah, even great maharshis also cannot understand me because I am their father, I am their origin. How can a small kid understand completely about the father? Aham adirhi devana maharshinam tu sarvasha. Same concept is coming here. Even devatas cannot understand the Lord completely, even rishis also cannot understand. He says, Jantuhu punah korhati gantu miritum. If devatas cannot understand, if rishis cannot understand, how can a jantu animal understand? I cannot understand. But yes, Lord, I am an elephant. That too, elephant in distress for 1,000 years. How can I understand? I cannot understand. Then Yathanatasya Kritibhir Vicheshtato. It is an example. Nata means an actor, drama actor. Right? Say a new actor comes on the stage. Not all the kids who played the Janmashtami drama. You can understand who played which role. Right? Especially in this one, sir. Even 1 minute or even half minute you see them and this I understand who played this role. Those are in the congregation only. But there are some actors, they completely get involved in the role, then audience don't see the person, don't see the actor, they see the role only. And if the audience are not aware of the actor in itself, they cannot understand who is playing the role. Right? So, just as naive audience cannot understand the functions of an actor on the stage, similarly, common people cannot understand Krishna. Yatha natasya krita girvicheshtato duratyayanukramanah samavatu. Very difficult to understand. Even Kunti Maharani says something similar. Anyone knows the shloka of Kunti Maharani's prayer? Where she says, it's very difficult to understand.
Maya
Maya-javanikachannam ajna-dhokshajavambyayam nalakshasi mudhadrisha nato natyadharo yatha. Nato natyadharo yatha. Just as ordinary audience cannot understand some actor's performance, similarly, common people cannot understand the Lord. Bhakti is required. Okay, Nata is very looking actor. For a keep actor aside, take a dancer or take a singer. There are some classical singers. They sing different ragas. And there are some classical dancers. They have different kinds of movements while they are dancing. Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Bharatanatyam, anyone knows? So when when some expert dancer is dancing on the stage, common naive audience cannot understand what is this movement, what is the dancer indicating, or which raga the singer is singing. But those are familiar with the musical science, all these ragas they can, oh, this is Shivajani raga, this is Adheri raga, this raga, that raga, they easily understand which raga. And when they are changing the melodies and changing the tones and all, they easily pick up. But when Krishna plays his flute, even the great masters of musical science also cannot understand which note Krishna is playing, what kind of song Krishna is playing. When Krishna is dancing on the hooks of Kaliya, even the great expert celestial dancers or the apsaras cannot understand what is this movement. I don't know, let me take notes. There is a Krishna can bewilder all kinds of artists. He is Sati Kala Prapurna. He is endowed with all 64 qualities, so 64 arts. So he can easily surpass any expert in any art. So just like ordinary listeners in a musical performance cannot understand the raga, sometimes the singer may just go to a big alapa for 10 minutes or 7 minutes. But some people are very shy. What happened to him? Always good. Maybe he's hungry. He didn't know prasad. Maybe he's angry. Some people cannot understand what's happening with the singer there. Maybe some pain, somebody gave me injection or what. Once I was playing on classical music, one of my younger cousin sister, he said, please stop this, I can't handle this. Why is he crying so much? Because it's that song is Vibale Raparasa. It's very long, I don't know if some of you are aware of it. It's a song very many backgrounds, childhood used to hear the classical music. So long alapas, some people cannot handle it. Similarly, when Krishna performs some pastimes, or takes some decisions, or creates this universe, common people cannot understand the process of creation or different pastimes of Krishna. That's what he's saying. I am a Jantu, how can I understand? Devatas cannot understand, even rishis cannot understand. Next, last discussion for today. Didrikshavo yasya padam sumangalam Vimukta sangha munaya susadhava Charantya loka vratama vranam vane Bhutatma bhuta sudha samegati The previous shloka he said, even Devatas cannot understand, even Rishis cannot understand, how can a Jantu understand? But does it mean no one can understand Krishna? No. There are some people who can understand Krishna. Who are such people and what is their process of understanding? What is their qualification to understand Krishna? Even to some degree, he says. Didrikshavo yasya padam sumangalam Those who actually are eager to see Krishna's lotus feet. Didrikshavo means very eager and enthusiastic to see. Yasya padam means his lotus feet. Sumangalam means very auspicious lotus feet. So those are very eager to take darshan of Krishna's auspicious lotus feet must have certain qualities. Or those who are eager to understand the Lord or see the Lord must have certain qualities. What are they? Number one, Vimukta Sangha. What is Sangha?
Association.
In one sense, Sangha is association, but from another perspective, Sangha is attachment. Sangha. Vimukta Sangha means they are completely free from all kinds of attachment. Detached people. Vimukta Sangha. Second, Munaya means very thoughtful people. Great sages can understand. Susadhavaha. Those are very good sadhakas. Those who follow all the prescribed practices of spiritual life, they can understand. First, Vimukta Sangha, detachment. Second, Munaya. It's there, like I'm showing the answer and asking the question. First is Vimukta Sangha. Second is Munaya. Third is Susadhara. What is Vimukta Sangha?
Free from
Free from attachment. Munaya. Thoughtful sages. Then Susadhara.
sadhakas, good sadhakas.
Sadhakas. Fourth, Charanti Aloka Vratamagrinam Mani. Charanti Aloka means they move around in this world and perform their vratam. Vratam means their vows. Whatever vows they have taken up. For example, at the time of initiation, we take 4 vows. 4 related principles. Right? And somebody will take a vow, I will follow Ekadashi Vrata, or I will follow Chaturmasya, or I will offer lamb during Kartik month, every Kartik. So there are different vows and vratas that people take up. But those people who keep their vows, they can see the Lord. Bhutatma Bhutaha Suhrudaha Samedati. Fifth qualification is Suhrudaha, being very friendly towards everyone, being genuine well-wishers of others. So, first, Vimukta Sangha, detached people. Munaya, thoughtful sages. Susadhava, good sadhakas. Then Vratam, Charanti Aloka Vratam means those who perform their vows strictly and sincerely. Last, fifth quality, Suhrudaha. Bhutatma Bhutaha, they are very kind and well-wishing towards all living beings. Such people can see the Lord and understand the Lord. To some people, not all. Right? So, in the previous shloka, he spoke that even great people are not qualified to see you or understand you. In this shloka, he spoke about some qualifications that enable one to see the Lord and understand the Lord. So next shloka onwards, he discusses the appearance of the Lord. We will discuss it tomorrow. We will do 7 prayers today. Thank you very much. Darshan Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, comments, clarifications?